darlings, welcome to a brand new vlog. We have got a little bit of sunshine this morning. We're very grateful for that. After the last 3 days, it's felt like we have been on Noah's Ark. It has been absolutely crazy. I shouldn't laugh actually, because there have been some pretty awful consequences of the crazy downfall. So many houses in both our village and the village where Strawtop Cottages have been really badly affected by the flooding. And also, sadly, the gym at Soho Farmhouse, the changing room's ceiling collapsed in, which is not ideal. But they were planning on renovating it anyway, so I guess that's going to happen a little bit sooner. But even though it's looking quite nice this morning, I still want to prepare now at nearly 11 AM in the morning our dinner. I have been wanting to try out slow cooker recipes for quite some time, and I have borrowed my mother's slow cooker. It's from, I actually don't even know the brand. Is Crock-Pot a brand? I don't know. I thought I had a slow cooker. I can't find it. Things just go missing in this house. And from our local butcher, I have got a small beef brisket. And I think it's just going to be, hopefully, fall apart, super soft by the time I've cooked it for probably 7 hours. I hope that's enough. In a dream world, I would have started this a couple of hours ago, but it's been a busy morning. Also, before I get started, I want to give a shout out to the 𝑙MS facials on Monmouth Street. I had one yesterday and I am so happy with my skin this morning. It was getting very decongested. It was getting very congested and just needed something to like bring the life back, and really chuffed with how my makeup went on this morning, how my skincare went on. So there we go. I just had an Ocado order delivery, which I need to put away. I buy things like, well, I'll show you. The kitchen is looking quite full right now, so I need to put some bits away. But I get this, oh my gosh, this little duo from M&S because it makes your laundry smell amazing. And I also got some of these stain removing wipes. I thought they would be quite useful. Bleach, that's exciting. Tissues, I bought some dates, some of my nice rye bread, which is amazing to just keep in your fridge because it doesn't really go out of date. And yet I've checked the ingredients and it doesn't appear to be processed. Or, well, it's obviously processed, but it's not like a mega awful ingredient. UPF, yeah, and a few random veggies. And I also bought some frozen peas and my mochi balls and my acai pouches, which I like to put in my morning smoothies. So I'm going to put these bits away. We've actually got our accountant coming over in the next like 15 minutes. So if my preparation of the slow cooking turns into a sound effect preparation, I'll probably record a voiceover to explain what I'm doing so that I can do that while we're doing the initial small talk chit chat with our accountant. But that is the plan for this morning, and then hopefully the weather's going to stay nice, take the boys out for a nice walk and just enjoy being able to go outside without it being torrentially downpouring. Okay, I'm going to start preparing the beef brisket slow cook. I'm going to follow the BBC Good Food recipe. I feel like you can't really go wrong with them. But I'm also going to add in some extra veggies. I have got loads of carrots that need eating up, rainbow carrots. So I'm going to pop those in as well. I'm going to give them a good scrub and chop them up. A couple of onions, they look absolutely filthy, fresh from the farm, but a couple of onions as well. Now this recipe also calls for golden ale. I don't know if that's American terminology, I'm not sure, and I don't really know my beers very well, but I've got either a drought, does that say draft or drought? I think it's drought Guinness, or is it draft? I don't know. I know nothing about beer. And then this is actually Jeremy Clarkson's beer company. It used to be called Cotswold Brew Co, but when he took over he rebranded it to Hawkstone Lager. I kind of wish it was still called the Cotswold Brew Co, but this I think is a blonde lager, a light one, which in my head sounds most similar to a golden ale. Is it risky sticking a beer in with my brisket? Yes, but sometimes I find that the tastiest dishes come from being a little bit impulsive. A little bit of flour, so it says 500 ml of hot beef stock. This is 500 ml. It's not technically beef stock, it is beef bone broth, but pretty sure that's the same thing, I think. We've also got some mushrooms that need eating up, so I'm going to stick them in. a little bit of yeast, and we need 2 bay leaves and a handful, it says a half bunch of thyme. We've got loads of thyme in the garden, so let's head out and get that, and then we'll start putting this all together. Someone is leaf blowing in the background, but just to show you a few little autumn updates in the garden, we've now got this little pot here on the table. The leaves turn more ambery as the season progresses. Really sweet. The herbaceous border is still looking good. And I think this afternoon I might start doing my bulb lasagnas. Ooh, and look at this. This is beautiful. The hydrangeas are really starting to turn crispy, and that beautiful dusky pink colour. Quite tempted to do like a hydrangea wreath. I think that could be rather fun with things like this in as well. Into the kitchen garden. So I've got plenty of herbs, but the recipe does say just thyme. Thyme is all you need, so I'll take a little bunch. Is that a half bunch? I would say so. This is amazing. I thought my yellow gold rush zucchini had stopped producing, but since I did I think I showed you a couple of vlogs ago where I kind of gave my courgettes a haircut, cutting off the lower branches, it started to come back to life, which I'm really happy about because I love a gold rush zucchini. So to really trap all of the flavour into the brisket, I have seared it in a pan just for a few minutes before it goes into the slow cooker, and I'm going to use this oil to also lightly fry my onions. That's the only kind of manual stage before sticking it all in the slow cooker, along with the lager and the other ingredients and the herbs. And then we set it off for 7 hours and let it work its magic.
We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, motor. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know.
Again, my darlings, it's now about 4 hours later. It was quite a long meeting, very much coffee fueled, but yeah, we just have to have these finance meetings every now and then. Inspired by that, I just put a question box up on my Instagram to see if any of you guys that follow on Instagram have any kind of business related questions. We are turning 10 as a business in, I think, April next year, if we count the first YouTube video, like first proper one, as the start of the business the way that it is now. So yeah, towards the end of this vlog we might have, or we will have, a Q&A that's a little bit more business focused. So how we run our business and advice for anyone that's looking to maybe go self-employed or even to start a social media business. So that is to come. The beef brisket is slow cooking away, and I've got to say the house smells amazing. I can imagine that if you put different spices in, if you put like, I don't know if you could cook anything with cinnamon, maybe like a chicken or something, it would just make your home smell so delicious. So yeah, I cannot wait to enjoy that later. I've just come in here and set up my, I call them my TikTok lights. Do you guys know what they look like? This is my setup when I do my shorts videos. Because the lighting in this house is so dark, I have to have artificial lighting, especially at this time of year. But I thought I would show you my outfit of the day as well. So you've already seen the top half, but I did just put on some slightly smarter trousers. And these are, yes, I'm wearing jeans. These are from And Other Stories. And I think straight leg jeans are actually probably the best style for me, because I sometimes find anything that tapers in can just make me look a little bit hippie. But these are completely straight, and then because we're at home I can be comfortable on my feet. So these little Uggs, which of course I have sprayed within an inch of their lives with liquid proof, so if any water splashes on them it doesn't ruin them in any way. So this has been a day meeting with our accountant, outfit of the day, so I'm going to film it on my 30 days of autumn outfits for TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Okay, I realise this doesn't actually look that exciting because you guys can't smell it, but yeah, it doesn't look great, does it? But it smells amazing, and I'm sure it's going to melt in the mouth when it finally comes time to cook this later. Sorry, eat this later. And the BBC Good Food website recommended a horseradish mash, which sounds amazing. And then I'm going to go and get some green beans from the garden. So it should just be the most yummy, hearty, wholesome dinner. Cannot wait. I've got a few things here that I've bought or received recently that are kind of home related that I need to put away. So I thought I would show you. First of all, I've been looking for a more local sea moss to put in my smoothies after reading all about the benefits of it. And there really are so many benefits to sea moss. In fact, I can't Google it because my phone's upstairs. So I found a company called The Moss Way, and they've got a little kind of trial pack. I think I paid maybe £37 for this. This is an elderberry moss. This one is turmeric. This one is original, and then we've also got moringa moss, and it looks like, kind of looks like caviar, like little bubbles. But yeah, this is a company that she literally forages sea moss from the Irish shore. So I thought I would give these a try. However, I am a little bit concerned about the sell-by date because I still have my two ginormous 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 ones, which I'm yet to finish. Oh my gosh, 14th of October, I have just over 2 weeks. I should have waited until I'd finished my 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 ones, but I got excited and I just presumed they would have a longer shelf life. But actually, things having a short shelf life is a good sign. It means they're not packed full of preservatives. So I'll keep you posted on ways that I use sea moss. I think that that's going to be a superfood ingredient that I use throughout the autumn and winter to help my immune system, etc. Speaking of boosting immune systems and things like that, boosting your bodily functions, that sounds a bit weird, I've had a nice delivery here from 𝑑𝒐𝒐. 𝑑𝒐𝒐 being my favourite mushroom powders. I put chaga in my morning coffee every morning along with my collagen powder, and I love them. Dexy, do you want to go outside? You've got a leaf stuck to your ear. Come on. Come on, Dexy, go and see if Harold needs talking to. So I think they have done a new blend of their coffee. So we've got the refill pouch here, and they also do it in a little tub, which is really cute. Can you imagine if they started to do capsules you could put in your Nespresso machine? That would be amazing. I like to use this kind of coffee in my smoothies. Ooh, it's ceramic. I thought it was metal. Oh my gosh, that is a very luxurious jar. Okay, so I need to pour that into here, and then you can use your scoop to distribute your coffee. Yeah, I've never really had it as I never really use more instant style coffee. Also for like coffee and walnut bread, which we will be making soon because my walnut tree is walnutting. And they also very kindly sent this, which is it by Corksicle, or it looks like a little corksicle. I love reusable coffee cups. I just find them so satisfying. And this one has a gorgeous pink colour. Hopefully, do you know what? I don't actually think that will fit in my car cup holder. So it's gonna, do you know what? I should really just drink my coffee that I have here in the house in this, because ever since we swapped our microwave for an air fryer, I can no longer microwave my coffee. So what I've been doing is been putting my coffee in the Ardga, but that's not ideal because the mug becomes really hot. Sorry, this is very boring. Sometimes when I turn the camera on, I just blather away as though I'm chatting to a friend, which technically I am. I'm chatting to tens of thousands of friends all in one go. But yeah, basically I can't reheat my coffee anymore, and I'm a very slow coffee drinker, so maybe I should just make my morning coffee in this and take this around the house, and then also I can shut it so I won't spill it anywhere. That's what I'm gonna do. Yay! Glad we decided on that together. Next delivery, this is from Citizens of Soil, who I feel like I've been talking about a lot lately because I am a little bit obsessed. I think it's such a good business idea. I wish I'd come up with it myself, but they are the subscription olive oil service, and again, I think we've got a discount code. In the description box, we've got like a discount section, so I'll leave any information down there. You can get a pouch sent through your letterbox every month. They send the best, freshest quality olive oil, and they even send tasting notes. They treat it like wine, which is really cool. In fact, they actually have an olive oil sommelier that works in their team, which is really cool. But I've been a full paying customer of theirs from the word go, but they spotted one of my YouTube features and they said they'd like to send me a little bit more as a thank you, which is exceptionally kind. And they asked me what I was planning on cooking in the not so distant future, and I said, well, we're going to be doing our first proper Charlie Irons Sunday roast of the season. That will be in next but one vlog, because it's still like 5 days away that we're doing that. And so one of these, I can't actually remember which way round, but one of these, oh yeah, this literally says pairs well with roast potatoes. Fantastic. Yes. So this is the Greek extra virgin olive oil. It's delicate and herby, produced by the Strawtop family on their organic farm and milled by the 𝑭𝒊𝒂𝒕 family for outstanding quality and nutrition. Works beautifully with ice cream. I heard someone talking about olive oil on ice cream the other day. I need to try that. Roast potatoes and tomato salads. Tasting notes include artichoke, wow, oregano and basil and fresh cut grass. And this particular one is best suited for roasting, drizzling and dipping. That's amazing. And you also have the date here. This says November 2023, that it was harvested. That is what you want to look out for, because you should consume olive oil as quickly as possible after the harvest. After like 18 months, it loses so much of its goodness. And then this is a rare olive oil from Italy, a more intense flavour. Again, you've got artichoke, but also green almonds and chicory in the tasting notes. Small batch, farm to fork, this oil prioritizes wellness, packed with polyphenols and flowing with aromatic flavors. Nice. I love this. I feel like we should all pay a little bit more attention to our olive oils, and I love that we have different ones for different purposes. And then the final thing, which is new, is this. So I'm a huge fan of Our Place. I use their pans all the time. Their perfect pan, no, this is the perfect pot. Their Always pan. I have been a huge lover of that ever since they first released them, and I thought this would be really, really useful. So it's the saucepan version of their perfect pot. So it's really deep on the sides, got the lid, non-toxic, non-stick. Often a lot of non-stick can be quite toxic. I feel like people are very aware of that these days, but this is non-stick but also non-toxic, very, very important. And I thought this would be the perfect size for heating up soups, also for making my pasta sauces. You could boil your pasta, cook, you could do an entire pasta dish in this. And yeah, I thought the size would be really, really versatile. For boiling my beans later on, I can use this. And they're just brilliant. They're a company that, when did they first come about? Was it in lockdown? I feel like no one saw it coming. Everyone was aware when they launched their Always pan, and I was like, that's really cool, and I see that you're going big on your marketing, but where are you going to go from here? Like, all you've got is a pan. And now look at them. I think they even have a slow cooker, don't they? Maybe that is what I need, so I don't have to keep stealing my mum's. They've got my air fryers from Our Place. They do oven roasting trays. They do crockery. They do pans of every variety. They do just so much. Like, they've taken over our kitchens, haven't they? Really, really clever business. So yeah, those are the new bits in my kitchen. Well, I had hoped to go out and do my hydrangea wreath this afternoon, but I don't know if you can tell, it's absolutely pouring again. Oh my goodness, after not having a very wet September, we are having a very, very wet end of September. Blimey. So I guess the wreath making is gonna have to wait for another day. By the way, does anyone else that lives in the countryside feel like squirrels are just taking over the world? We have got so many squirrels in our garden. I'm not complaining, any wildlife is welcome, especially hedgehogs because they're so cute.
Squirrels, though, I just love to chase them, but you know what? I've never caught one. I've never managed to catch up with them because I'm not very good at climbing trees.
Okay, welcome back to the darkest kitchen of all time. What have I done here? I've not tucked myself in very well. So, the slow cooker is still slow cooking. I'm going to also make a mashed potato au gratin to go on the side because that just seems like the most delicious thing in the whole world, and I want to make this meal as hearty as possible. So, I've started off by beginning my prep for a regular mash, so the spuds are boiling away. Then, when they've boiled, I'm going to mash up with some butter. I've got the nice 𝑑aylesford unsalted cultured butter.
Unsalted?
You can add salt.
No.
That's all they had in the farm shop, mate.
Oh!
I know. Salted, well, whatever butter you've got, milk, crucially, Parmesan cheese, and also just a little pinch of cayenne pepper, which is going to make it super duper tasty as the mash. Then I've got 2 more potatoes here, which I'm going to thinly slice, lay them over the top, and then a little bit more Parmesan on the top of that. My mouth is watering just thinking about it, so that's going to be on the side along with some beans for the dinner. Meanwhile, while I'm waiting for the potatoes to boil, I'm going to give myself a pedicure. I know, quite random. Yes, don't worry, I'll be washing my hands in between. And I'm going to go for, unsurprisingly, a brown colour using my Manicurist set. So I think this is one of their best sellers. I'm pretty sure it's called Chestnut. So basically, Manicurist, you can do like an at-home mani or pedi. And it's it is gel. It cures with a UV light, or LED actually, not UV, because UV is damaging to the skin, LED is not. And it's a really eco formula, so it's vegan, it's paraben-free, cruelty-free, a lot less toxic than gel. Obviously, I love gel. I've got 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 on my nails. I went to Townhouse yesterday. This is 2 coats of Dolly, 1 coat of Oyster. And they did the most amazing job considering this nail was fully broken. But on my toes, I don't feel like I need full mega gel, and I like to do it myself at home. So you get the base coat, which is number 1 from Manicurist. I did have a discount code. If it still works, I'll leave that in the discount section below. So you do a base coat, then you do a couple of layers of your colour, and then you do your top coat. So you need 1 and 3, and then you need your colours. They do have a colour exactly like this. I think it's called Hortensia, maybe? Yeah, and then you can also get things like the nail and cuticle oil. So that is what I am going to do while my spuds are cooking. Okay, so this has been cooking all day. The mashed potato gratin has just come out of the 𝑭𝒂. It's perfectly crispy on top with the Parmesan. And then I did buttered greens of peas, the beans from the garden, and some kale. The carrots are all what has been stewing all day. And it looks absolutely delicious. Let's tuck in. Good morning, my darlings. Welcome to a very rainy Thursday morning. I wanted to pick up the vlog camera because a miracle is occurring right in front of our eyes. Anyone else that has sausage dogs might know that they don't really like food. They don't tend to eat their dinner unless we either pour like beef broth on it or put cheese on it or add other kinds of treats to it. However, we have just given them their first in a long time. We did get a few boxes of this a couple of years ago, but we've just restarted them on a different dog food. And this is Dickens' second bowl of this. When I tell you, they never ever even like get excited, or they need coaxing normally to have their food. But when I put the second bowl of dog food down, Dickens actually did a spin. And spins are usually reserved for 𝑇𝑟𝑒𝒂𝒕s. So this is absolutely amazing. He's going to lick the bowl clean for a second time. I've got some tomato soup whizzing away in the Thermomix. Charlie's unpacking our weekly pasta delivery.
What time is it? It's 10 to 8 actually. But we are, yeah, on a Thursday we get Nonna Tom's delivered, which is normally our dinner for Friday.
Yeah.
Slightly frustrating actually. Riverford have decided to also deliver on a Thursday now.
Golly!
Oh, no.
How inconvenient.
But
just means you've got a fridge full.
The ideal of Riverford is that you get delivered earlier in the week. However, we love our Riverford, so those are basically our 2 meals for next week.
Jolly good.
So we delivered today.
And this is the exact food that the boys are devouring. It's called the Perfect Picnic from Different Dog, hand-cooked, complete food for dogs of all ages. They are absolutely loving it. I think it's like human-grade food. It comes frozen. Oh, whoops, it says start by introducing 10% different dog and increasing the amount per day. Oopsie, I just went straight in. But yeah, they absolutely love it. Happy, happy sausages. Okay, my darlings, a proper good morning. So today we have got a road trip. We're actually driving up to Nottingham as a full team. We've got full Fashion Mumblr team heading up to Nottingham for a very, very exciting meeting, which is going to have a very big impact on the future of Fashion Mumblr. That's a little bit of a hint. So yeah, it's gonna be, I think, a couple of hours in the car. I've made a tomato soup because we'll be up there at lunchtime, and I like to always have something that I can enjoy that's very cozy and hearty. I've popped on this dress, which I actually got last year. It's from 𝑑𝒂, and I love it. I love the brown kind of leaf pattern, but I do feel that it's not got the best kind of shape to it, so I like to pop something like a gilet on over the top, and then some little brown boots. I'll be taking my 𝑑𝒂. I think just because we're going to be in the car so long, hair in a bun is the way forward for today. So this is my road trip and important meeting outfit of the day. It's time to hit the road. Made it to Nottingham, our first time here. I'm gonna grab a quick coffee in this little place before our meeting. Ooh, they have got some tasty looking cakes in the window. Yum. Okay, it's actually 4 hours later. We have finished our epic meeting, and now we're just getting some Cornish pasties. Apparently this place is epic. So we're gonna get some snacks for the journey home. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. They have got every flavour of Cornish pasty you could possibly imagine. Garden vegetable and kale, or chicken tikka masala. Wow. We've got Charlie's nod of approval because they have got a lamb au zocco, quite an epic one, but it is their pasty and pastry selection that we're most excited about. Tell us about your pasty, darling.
I have a rhubarb and custard pasty,
yep.
Savoury pasty.
Rhubarb and custard savoury?
It could be in the top 10 best things I've ever eaten.
Are you joking? Oh my goodness. Top 10 things you've ever eaten? We should try making them next year.
I would come back to Nottingham just for this.
Wow, you heard it here first.
Amazing.
He's a happy boy. So Molly actually used to live in Nottingham, and she's been telling us that the traditional industry here was lace. So lots of lace in wedding dresses, in loads of different garments, all came from factories here in Nottingham. I think this was this is called the Cotton Building. So cotton lace, all lace varieties from this little historical town. Okay, we are on our way home, and you'll probably be able to see these, well, it looks like 4, but I think there's something like 16 massive pylons up in front of us. And as we were driving towards Nottingham, it was very much like huge, like it was like when you drive over the hill and suddenly Las Vegas is in front of you, but you drive over the hill and then suddenly this huge power station is in front of you. And I did a little Google. Turns out that this is the Ratcliffe on Soar, S-O-A-R, power station.
And today is the 26th of September, and it's actually getting decommissioned on the 30th of September, so it actually only has 4 days left before it gets decommissioned. And this is Britain's last remaining coal power station. Won't be able to see it now, but I'll turn you around in a second and show you properly. It is absolutely ginormous, but how crazy, in 4 days time the last British coal power station is getting decommissioned. Don't you think that's crazy?
I do think it's crazy.
Oh, you're very zoomed in. Yeah, really interesting.
It's bonkers. I mean, when you think also, like, it's been very divisive over the years, isn't it, with Margaret Thatcher and stuff shutting the coal mines. Had a big impact on Wales, and near where you grew up, and your dad originally was a coal miner, wasn't he?
He was indeed. He was a
and
coal
obviously
miner.
I assume we still will mine coal for other reasons.
Oh, I've just read it. Actually, do you know what? It's not a coal mining station, it's a coal-fired power station.
No, that's all it is, yeah. There's no mining going on. They use coal, they burn coal to create electricity, which back in all the 1900s, you know, in the Industrial Revolution, that was how we created power, was burning coal. And then over time, we've added, what, nuclear power was the big one.
Yeah, I mean,
so
look at it.
Battersea Power Station was a coal burning energy.
Was it? But Battersea Power Station didn't have the massive chimneys like
Yeah,
this.
it does have a chimney though. But think about Battersea Power Station. That is why people got so sick in that period. Do you remember that when there was the smog?
Yeah.
Because the coal.
Okay,
fumes.
here's an interesting question. Is it a coincidence that all of the clouds are hovering over the power station? Like, look around us. It's like mostly blue up there.
No idea.
And then over the power station it's all grey. Do you think geographically it's anything to do with the pollution?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not burning anything now though, is it? Because you'd see it coming out, right?
I don't know.
I mean, they are monstrous.
Yeah.
They are absolutely monstrous.
Yeah. They make me feel a bit uneasy.
Yeah. Do you know occasionally if you're ever in the water on holiday or something and you see a massive boat in the distance, like a tanker,
and
you feel a bit like,
makes you feel very small.
That vibe, yeah.
Very scary. But only 4 days left, and then Britain's last coal power station.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Will be no more. Yep.
Good morning, my darlings. It's Friday morning. It's a chilly, wet and grey Friday morning. So today is a little bit of an office day, and I realised I didn't vlog that much yesterday, but this morning I want to have a little sit down, catch up with you guys, and do, I'm going to answer some of the questions that you guys have asked over on Instagram. If you are not following me on Instagram at @JosieLDN, then please make sure that you do, because that's where I post a lot of updates and question boxes and things like that. And before I get started with the Q&A, I will mention this in a few more videos as well, so that hopefully lots of you hear about it. But this year, Christmas, oh my gosh, I said the C word, Christmas 2024, I am going to be doing my subscribers businesses gift guide, or small business gift guide again. So if you or someone that you're very close to has got a really wonderful small business, I would love for you to send me the information about the business, and we're going to do a huge blog post with all of our favorites, and also a YouTube video gift guide. I will order some of my favorite products from you and share it in a gift guide, which I think is just such a nice thing for the fashion Mumblr, the community that we have here. There are so many lovely brands out there that we can all kind of support each other and get unique gifts at Christmas. So I'll leave the information on where to send your business information down below in the description box, and then that'll be coming in the middle of November. But so day before yesterday, I popped a Q&A box up on my Instagram, and I often see comments in the comment section down below that are kind of themed around how we run the business, and just kind of like wanting to know the inner workings or advice if you're thinking of starting your own YouTube channel. So I thought I would just spend the next maybe 10-15 minutes going through a few of your questions to really answer these topics, or hopefully shed a little bit of light. So I've not looked through these questions yet. We've got quite a lot, so I'm not going to be able to, oh, there's way more. Whoa, there's so many. Yeah, I won't unfortunately be able to get through all of them, but we're approaching 10 years on YouTube next year, which is really, really exciting. And I count my 10 years from my April favorites video that I did in 2015. I'd done a couple of random videos before that, like I'd left my probably phone, no, it wouldn't have been a phone camera, my gosh. I'd left a camera recording while I got some Halloween makeup done, and I think I did a DIY nail tutorial, but I count my start on YouTube as that April favorites video. That was when I decided I wanted to become a YouTuber nearly 10 years ago. So yeah, as we approach that, I'm going to do a few more videos themed around the YouTube business. And also for those, I do still get a lot of questions on how to start a YouTube channel and kind of practical tips. I did a video years ago when we still lived in London. I will find it and I'll leave it linked down below, called my YouTube Q&A or something. And I shared so much kind of intricate information in that video, which is best performance and best practice for how to grow and start a YouTube channel. I might repeat myself in this video a little bit with some of the tips, but if you really want granular details, like how your thumbnail, for example, can make a video get more views, that video has got tons of advice in it. And also a lot of my fellow content creators often reference a podcast that I once recorded with Amber, who founded an affiliates company called LTK. You might often notice that links in the description box down below are affiliate links. Many of them are through a company called LTK. It used to be called Reward Style, and I recorded a podcast with the founder of this company, Amber. And in this podcast, I also shared so much advice and tips for aspiring influencers, and fellow content creators often, when I meet them, they say, Josie, that podcast like helped me launch my business. It's so full of juicy information. And not many people in this industry, like a lot of people keep information very close to their chests. They're not particularly, you know, if they find out something that's going to help other people's good business grow, they might not share it. I'm not like that. If I find out something interesting or useful, I will share it. I don't keep anything close to my chest. I think that opportunities and experiences are abundant. Helping one other person or hundreds of other people isn't going to take away from me in any respect. So why not share information? That's just the kind of person that I am. And I think Charlie is actually exactly the same. We're both very giving and sharing of our knowledge. When we have friends come to our house, like we've spent in the past like half a day explaining to someone how to create our cauliflower cheese or why we chose to lay the bricks in our garden path a certain way. Like we'll just spend time sharing our knowledge and not keep knowledge close to our chests. Or yeah, there's definitely an expression here and I can't remember what that expression is, but I'm sure it'll come to me. Anyway, already spent 6 minutes rambling. Let's get into the Q&A. Alrighty, Annabelle_LW has asked a lot of questions. Gosh, okay, let's see. What were some key strategies that you used to grow your platform in the early stages? I will start off by saying that when I grew my platform, algorithms and the world of the internet was a very, very different place. So what worked for me then may not work for other people in the future. But there are a few things that stand out, and there are a few things that I think are still very relevant to people today. So for me, I had a job working for a fashion company. I worked at Mumblr, and then I worked for a software company as their marketing manager. So when I started creating content online, it was a blog and it was Instagram and then it was YouTube. And I created the content out of pure love of creating and sharing information. This goes back to literally what I was just saying. My first website was advice on how to get an internship or how to excel at an internship within the fashion industry, and it was kind of fashion industry advice to fellow students at the London College of Fashion, and it evolved from there. But my point being, I started all of these platforms because of the love of creating the content and the love of sharing the information, and I did not start with the goal of turning it into a career. No one did it as a career back in maybe I did, okay, but very, very few, and I certainly didn't know of anyone that was making any money or doing it as a career back in this time. So I think starting, if you want to build a successful content creator business, you have to start with pure intentions. You have to start because of your love of creating the content and your love of sharing the information, and not because you want to turn it into a career or make money from it. Because you have to really love what you're doing, because you will quite likely have to end up doing this for a couple of years before you earn a penny, before you get sent your first free lipstick. I certainly did, and I didn't do it to get the freebies or the money. I did it because I loved creating the content. And I think that because of that, I wasn't eager to say yes to every paid opportunity that came my way or accept every invitation. So that meant that we were able to maintain a reliability from our audience and an authenticity. And I guess a more blunt way of saying it would be that I didn't sell out. I think that that is a quick way to have a very quick career as a content creator. If you say yes to every whitening toothpaste or fruit flavored yogurt that comes your way, if you say yes to all of these collaboration opportunities, and yes, sometimes the money is really tempting, but by working with every brand, even if they're not right for you, or if they go against something that you believe in, then your audience very quickly know that they can't trust you and that you're just kind of like an advertising spieling machine. So they'll stop watching you. So that is how you have it. That's how you have a short career. But I think because it was never my goal to turn it into like a multi-million-pound business, I was always very selective with who I worked with and kept very true from the word go. So I think that is a key thing if you're looking to grow your, not just the size of your platform numbers wise, but the quality and trust from your audience, which actually I would say is more important than the little number next to your name on Instagram or YouTube. I've often thought if someone approached me and they said, look, I've got an account here with 5 million followers, do you want it? Let's swap. I would say no thank you, because I feel that the audience that we have built here is so valuable because there's such a trust and a connection there, and that is key to growing and key to longevity. Which is probably not the answer that you're expecting. You're probably expecting, okay, I'll give you a more kind of tangible answer. How to grow your platform is do what the platforms want you to do. Let's be honest, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, what do they want? They want to keep people on the platform as long as possible. So if you can get your audience to hover or engage with your post more or for a longer amount of time, then the algorithms on all of these platforms are going to boost your content. That is the tangible way to grow. So if you can create content that's engaging, that's shareable, that's going to keep more eyeballs on your content for longer, then your channels will grow. When we moved here to the Cotswolds in 2020, I've spent so long just on one question. When we moved here in 2020, our content really pivoted, and it pivoted away from growth strategy and more towards quality and tightness of audience priority. When I lived in London, my content was a lot more fashion focused, a lot more hauls, a lot more 10 ways to look expensive or 5 ways to style a white shirt. That is very evergreen kind of content, as in people will always want to search that, people will always, it's very SEO friendly. But then as my passions and interests started to change, my content changed more towards vlogs. Vlogs, I always say this to people, vlogs are there to keep your existing audience happy because we're like a family and we're friends and we know each other and we're just kind of, it's like hanging out with you guys. Whereas SEO content will grow your numbers. So if you want to grow your numbers, create more evergreen content, things which are going to appeal to new audiences. The kind of content that people don't actually care about who you are to watch it. So I don't need to know a thing about you to watch your ASOS haul or to watch your 10 autumn winter trends. And yeah, I did actually do that video because I love some of the trends this year, so every now and then I'll sprinkle them in. But that used to be my strategy, and it wasn't even like a strategic strategy. It was just the kind of content that I wanted to create, and that meant that more and more eyeballs were on my videos, and that grew the channel. Whereas now I have flipped my strategy, or not even strategy, I flipped what I want to create to vlogs, and they're never going to be the kind of videos that make your channel hugely grow in numbers, but what it does do is it grows the connection and the relationship that you have with your audience, which right now is actually my priority. So wow, okay, that was a long answer. A lot of these are quite similar. So someone said how to start from zero, do's and don'ts, and how to grow as a small business. So I guess, yeah, similar to what I've just said, how to start from zero. I would say get a fresh Instagram page. Maybe don't recycle an old one because Instagram quite likes new Instagram pages. I think that having a presence across multiple platforms is really important. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Instagram can change the algorithm like that. Suddenly your entire business changes, so don't rely on one platform. Do's and don'ts. I would say, I don't know if this person means as a small business or as a content creator, but then I would say that either, if you are a small business, social media is exceptionally important for growing a small business because it's essentially free marketing. The only thing you need to put in is time, and engage with other accounts, engage with accounts that are similar to yours, spend time leaving comments, like be an active member of the community. I think that's a really important way to grow, whether it's as a small business or as a content creator. T-Charm has asked, how do you prevent others from poaching your ideas and strategies? You simply can't. It's simply impossible to stop others from poaching your ideas and strategies. One thing which I think annoys some people when I say it, but something that I'm quite proud of, is that I was the first ever person on YouTube, you can actually check, to film a come shopping with me video. No one before my Oxford Street, I think 2017 video, had ever done a video called Come Shopping With Me. And am I annoyed that other people have also filmed Come Shopping With Me in London? Come shop, like it's not that unique an idea. We're talking a long time ago when there weren't as many people doing this kind of video on YouTube. And actually that video pretty much got me from 40,000 to 100,000 subscribers over a long period of time. And maybe because of other people also doing those videos, it actually helped my original video, because when they'd finished watching Bob from California doing Come Shopping With Me on Rodeo Drive, they might have then been like, oh, I enjoyed that, I'm being recommended Josie's Come Shopping With Me on Oxford Street video. So sometimes when people do similar things to you online, it actually helps you as well. It creates a little bit of a snowball effect. So yes, sometimes when it's something that you felt really closely connected to, and if every element of your life is copied, then it can be a little bit more of a sting, because that's personal things. But I think if it's just a one-off idea that other people like to also do, I think it's actually a really big compliment, and I think that, oh, clearly it was a great idea, and I'm so happy that other people want to do it too. And in some ways you benefit, in some ways other people might benefit more, but that's okay. Again, I think just switching your mindset. Like if I see someone doing something that I've already done, I just think, oh, clearly I had a great idea, or clearly that was something that they felt inspired by. So yeah, just switching your mindset to being like, oh, I'm so annoyed that they styled their garden in the same way as I styled mine. I don't think like that. I think I'm so happy that they loved ours so much that they wanted to do something similar, or they loved that video so much that they wanted to do something similar. I find it nice most of the time. Oops, I need to reset the camera. Yeah, so I think just a change in mindset. But how do you prevent it from happening? You can't. When you share your life online, it's very, very public. And if your ideas are good, people gonna do it as well. People gonna copy you, so it's fine. How do you handle someone else editing your videos and know what clips you like and what to edit out? So it took me quite a while, and I actually probably in the past said, oh, I'm never gonna let anyone else edit my videos. But honestly, I think it was Vlogmas 2022. Yeah, that was the first time I ever let anyone else edit my videos, ever. I'd never ever let anyone else edit before. In fact, I can show you, I've got my laptop open right here. This is what it looks like when I have got a raw video. So it's all the clips in iMovie like this. And Chloe now edits all of my videos, and I think that it's very, very hard to hand that over. I always remember Jo from 𝑠_Club 7 being so upset when she left the Big Brother house, because she said that everyone, sorry, this is a bit TMI, but she said everyone in the Big Brother house was like scratching their bums and burping and farting as much as everybody else, but the editors chose the clips of her doing those things more than anyone else. So they portrayed her to be a bit slobby, to be a bit gross. And she came out and she was like, I don't understand why they've edited me to look like that, and they edited someone else to look perfect all the time. And that's the thing, when you hand over like a memory card of essentially your life to someone else, they can edit it however they want. They could edit it to make you look like a total doorknob or the most fabulous person on the planet. You're very smelly. So I think you've got to have a lot of trust in the person that's editing, and also they really kind of need to get to know you. I think the fact that Chloe and I spend 4 days a week together, it's Friday today, she works from home on a Friday, and also it helped that Chloe had watched my videos before coming to work for us, and I just sat with her for the first couple of times and I said, look, in an instance like this, I might edit it in this way. In an instance like this, I might bring in the music and fade out the music like this. And maybe for the first 2 months, I would sit with her and I'd say, look, you've done an amazing job and I'm just going to change these teeny weeny little things. And then after a couple of months, I didn't need to make any amends. I would say now, I very rarely make amends, but what happens is Chloe leaves the laptop with the edited video open at her desk when she leaves the office at 5, and between 5 and 6 I will go and do something like take off my makeup or whatever, and I will watch through the video, and it's open in raw format, so I can easily make amends. It's not like I'm shipping the footage over to someone in Australia and then getting a closed down file. If you've edited, you'll know what I mean. It's not like I'm receiving an end product. I can still make teeny weeny little tweaks if I need to, but I actually very, very rarely need to, which is amazing. And I'm so, so happy because editing takes a long time. I need to change my camera battery. I'm so sorry, my tiny, smelly little sausage dog. I need to move you because I need to go and get another battery. Okie dokie, we're back. Another question. Did you or do you have a coach for your business? No, because no one had done this job before. So we just kind of had to figure it out as we went along. And I think that if you're in a similar space where you're quite full frontal, if you're one of the first to be doing what you're doing, you just have to figure it out. You just got to be bold and have faith in what you're doing. So no, didn't have any kind of coaches. How is AI changing the way you do things? Do you know what? Up until the meeting that we had yesterday in Nottingham, I would have said AI doesn't come into my business at all, but we're actually discussing something that may involve AI, which will make our business really exciting, and it will be unlike anything you've ever seen before, let's just say. So TBC. Someone's just written, no homemade adverts videos, please. I have no idea what that means. Anne-Marie has said, I love the brands that you work with. Would your channel be financially viable on views alone? Yes, it would. You could make a very, very comfortable career just on views alone. And sorry, Dickens' hair he's like a cat in that his hair is so light and fluffy. So it just kind of exists in the room whenever he is. So it always like sticks to my face, which is delightful. Yes, I could make a living just on the money from my YouTube views alone. But I would like to do more and I would like to earn more. So that's why we do brand partnerships, and also brand partnerships enable us to do more things to create more content. So it's a little bit of a snowball effect. Okay, we'll try again. How to self-motivate when you run your own business. I really struggle with this. I'm gonna be so brutally honest with you. The way that I self-motivate myself is money. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm not going to say because of the warm, fluffy feeling that I get when I create content. I am quite money driven, and this is a business, and I'm motivated to get up and out of bed because yes, I do actually love what I do. I love creating content. I love filming YouTube videos, and I feel so like, I've never actually really sat back and thought this, but I feel so grateful that for the last 10 years I have been excited to get up and out of bed to do the job that I do. Was it Grace Coddington in the September issue that said, when you're no longer excited to get out of bed and work, that's when you have to change your job or leave your job? I'm sure it was Grace Coddington. So enjoying what I do is very, very useful, but I'm motivated to work hard and work all the time, because if I don't, there's no money coming in, which means that we can't afford to live in this house. I can't afford food to live. So yeah, totally honest with you, it's a business and I'm motivated for it to grow and to continue to succeed because I love doing it and because I want to make money. I don't think anyone on YouTube is normally this honest, but I just can't float around the subject. Could you even imagine doing this as a full-time job? And could you ever see yourself doing something different? No, I could never, ever, ever in a million years have imagined that this would have become a full-time job. Absolutely not. Did I ever dream that one day we would be employing multiple people to help us run this business? Heck no, I wouldn't. But you've always got to keep an open mind, I guess. And could you ever see yourself doing something different? I really don't know how to answer that, because do I want to be doing this forever? no, I don't want to be doing this forever. But the thing is, and I've had this conversation with many fellow YouTubers, there are always things that we're passionate about, whether it's starting a clothing brand or starting a skincare brand or running holiday cottages. Nothing will ever be, this is like the honesty that you don't normally hear from YouTubers, nothing will ever be, not that I've thought of anyway, as profitable with as little investment going in as being a content creator. Now okay, that's actually a sweeping statement and not necessarily true. I have got friends who are investment bankers and friends who are like traders, or they own $1 billion company. They are obviously making a lot more money, but what they, in most, that's probably quite extreme circumstances, like the amount of money versus the time that they're putting into their jobs, because we've all got the same number of hours in the day, Molly May. But honestly, with my personal capabilities and the businesses that I think that I could do, or the jobs that I think I could do, nothing would be as financially lucrative as what I'm currently doing. That is the cold hard truth of it. So could I see myself doing something different? Yes. But could I maintain the current lifestyle that I have doing something different? No. That is the most honest I think I've ever been on YouTube. Hope you guys are enjoying this. How do you delegate tasks to people who work with you? Interestingly, this was a question that I actually asked our friend Ben, who owns Gymshark. I asked him this question because he has been so very, very successful at delegating incredibly well, from founding the business from absolute scratch to it now being the incredibly successful business that it is. And his advice was, find people that are better at doing those things than you are. And I just thought that was absolutely amazing. I think when you are a business owner and a perfectionist, it's very hard to let things go, but understand that other people are really clever, and if you give people that little kind of boost in the right direction, they can be better at it than you. Like, I would say Chloe is better at editing than I am. You guys probably agree. I would say that Molly is better at analytics and far better at creating graphics and putting together newsletters than I would ever be. So find people that are better than you. It sounds brutal, but it's true. Do you invest, and if so, in what? Would you ever consider doing content on financial literacy? Yeah, I would. I'm definitely not an expert at it though, so I'd be very careful. I have got investments through a company, I think it's called Fidelity. The fact that I don't 100% know what it's called means that I'm quite like foot off the gas with it. But yes, I do invest, but I very much let an expert handle that for me, because I'm not like finger on the pulse in financial markets. I've got friends that are, and Charlie chats to his pals about like what they're investing in, and sometimes if you hear something good from someone that is very knowledgeable, the best advice I've ever been given is only invest an amount of money that you're willing to lose, because investing in some and many ways is gambling. So only gamble what you're willing to lose. Don't invest your house deposit, because there's a chance that it could go to shizzle. But so my personal advice would be to talk to an expert. We did a video a few months ago where we actually had Toby, our financial advisor, sitting in this very room, and we got loads of financial advice from him, which he openly shared in a YouTube video. So I would recommend watching that. It's all about like the financial advice that I wish I'd known when I left school. So we'll leave that video link down below as well. What is one piece of advice that you received that you think has been the most valuable? Okay. When I was, the annoying thing is I can't remember exactly who gave this advice. There are a couple of people that it could have been. When I was in my last year of uni, it was either Sally Baines, who was my uni dissertation supervisor, or it was Fran, who was my marketing manager when I worked at Mulberry. I'm sorry if it was someone else, or maybe both of them. The advice was, in probably a much more succinct sentence, everything that you do, do it to the best of your ability. And I would say that I do that. I try very hard to do that. If I am growing a veg garden, I will frickin' do it to the best of my ability. If I am cooking a dinner, I'll do it to the best of my ability. If I'm interning at a fashion company and someone asks me to put together 750 invitations, I will do everything that I'm asked of to the best of my ability, because why not? Why not do everything to the best of your ability? Like, it's not hurting you to do something to the best that you can. I think if I'm ever given a task, I will try and do it really, really well. And I think that that has been something that has not only helped me to succeed in the industry that I'm in now, but it really helped me in the early stages of my career. Let's not forget, I'm 32. I've had goodness knows how long in the working world now. Even when I was 14, I was working at a local bed and breakfast. I was the best freaking chambermaid that B&B had ever had. I'm not gonna lie. And then reputation spreads. The lady that ran that B&B, she would say to all her friends, oh, Josie's a fantastic girl. Josie's a hard worker. That's the reputation you want to have. I so often hear from friends and colleagues that run businesses that, and this might upset some people, that the younger generation do not have the best work ethic. They don't want to stay beyond the exact time that their contract says that they have to stay in the office. They don't want to do a job to the best of their ability. They just get it done. That is a huge sweeping statement, I know, and it might upset a lot of people, especially if you're in that generation, to hear that. But boy, oh boy, I hear that all the time. I hear that it's so hard to get a good intern these days because people just expect to go in at the like middle rung of the career ladder. Interns within the beauty industry, they want to be going to the events, they want to be running the social media from day 4. It took me 2 years unpaid at Mulberry as a marketing intern. Did I ever grumble or say, oh, can't be bothered to steam another goodie bag? What good is it if I steam another goodie bag? Heck no. I was like, absolutely. In fact, let me change the steamer water so it's fresh. In fact, let me do XYZ. Like, I would always grasp a task, hashtag leave grasp a task in your comment down below if you're gonna now do this. I would grab a job by the horns and I would always do it to the best of my ability, and that became my reputation for being a hard worker, for being someone that you could always go to with a job. I would never turn my nose up at a job, never really grumble. Did I think it was fair that interns that had come in for 2 weeks just because they asked to do like the more glamorous jobs got given them? Maybe sometimes I was like, oh, I should have been doing that. I've been here longer. I sometimes maybe thought that, but I just kept my head down and I worked really hard. And guess who got the job at the end of it? Me. And guess who got the most incredible reputation, and then people within the industry would speak really highly of me because of my work ethic. So I would say that that was the best bit of advice. Any job that you do it to the best of your ability. Be a yes person. Be the person that when something needs doing, yeah, sometimes in an office it can be annoying if it's always coming down to you, but I would so much rather be that person than like, oh god, don't ask her to do it, like she's useless. Imagine, your reputation stays with you. And I think start young. If you've got children, get them helping you in the garden, in the house. I went around my village aged 13, 14, and I literally just handed out a letter saying, hi, I'm Josie, whatever jobs you need doing, maybe I can help you with it, whether it's washing your car, feeding your chickens when you're away. There was a guy in my village that made like home batches of wine, and I went and he actually paid me. In fact, a few of these people, these people did pay me because I was raising money to go to Tanzania. That's a whole nother story. And I would put labels on his wine bottles for £5 an hour. You know, just work hard, do everything to the best of your ability, and say yes to things. Oh, this is getting very deep. Okay, can we see more Charlie and Josie podcast style videos? That's interesting because, to be honest, we've toyed with the idea of doing a podcast for quite some time now. I think the podcast world is quite saturated, but I do like the idea of just having like a microphone in the middle of the table and us just having a chit chat, because like I've been talking now for nearly 25 minutes. This is going to be a long video, and I think we could definitely do that. And especially because of, like I said at the beginning, both Charlie and I are so happy to be sharing information, and Charlie gets passionate and knowledgeable about so many topics. Like he's so knowledgeable about so many things, whether it's the best antiques. In fact, the doorbell's going to go in a second and we've got an antiques dealer delivering some stuff. Whatever the topic, Charlie can ramble on about it. So let me know down below if a podcast style video is something that you would like. When you get days when you really don't want to see a camera, what is your motivation to do so? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, today was one of those days. Here I am with like a tiny bit of BB cream on, still got my Pilates outfit on, couldn't really be bothered to make an effort, but at the same time, I think my team, our team, keeps me accountable. I'll show you something else. So we have this thing, gotta be careful which part of it I show you because there's all of our financials on here, but we have got a document that we call the Bible, and within it the girls put together, this is just like, you might be able to get a little sneak peek as to what's coming. This is my content calendar. So I know that, for example, today we had a finance day, we had team day, and now I'm doing, oh yeah, 3-day vlog, it literally says that, work Q&A, and mention subscriber gift guide. So that is about as regimented as it gets, that I do have, I mean, it's a job. I have to get up and film whether I like it or not, because this is my job. And I think I actually annoyed a YouTuber once. There was some girls that I was friendly with, and they'd be like, Jose, I don't know how you do it, I don't know how you do 3 videos a week. And I think I was in a bad mood, or they'd already said something that annoyed me, and I think I just turned around and I was like, it's my job. Which is really brutal, because it's their job too. But yeah, I do treat it as a job. So if you work in an office and you don't feel like going to work that day, you just still gotta go, haven't you? But I think having this structure, I'll give you a little sneak preview. So the next vlog, which I think you guys are gonna see on Thursday, will be a farmer's market, and it will be a seasonal recipe with produce from the farmer's market. Sometimes that might not happen, like we might not end up going to the farmer's market, so things change, but having that little bit of guidance I find really, really useful. Okay, Charlie's just got back home from Soho Farmhouse, so we might get disrupted shortly. So I'll try and whiz through a few more. How many members are on your team and what are their duties? So there's Dexter, who's the boss, Dickens, who is the totally useless court jester. There's Charlie. When we got married, I made Charlie a director of the business. He does all the finance side, he does a lot of contracts, he does a lot of negotiating with brands. He also runs the Holiday Cottages, which is very important. And Charlie also manages the Strawtop Instagram account, the Old House Instagram account. He proofreads everything. He's very, very busy. Then we have Chloe, who edits the videos. Chloe is here in the house 4 days a week. She helps with everything from unboxing and steaming products, which takes a lot of time, and also Chloe manages a lot of Chloe's like a project manager, so when things need to be done, Chloe will do them. She's very organized, very efficient, and also she's kind of like our mum. She keeps Charlie and I in check. Molly unfortunately lives very far away from us. She's down in Folkestone, but actually it doesn't, it works perfectly because Molly can do everything that she does from afar. So whether it's putting together the newsletter or creating graphics or completing the description boxes that you see under the YouTube videos or sending analytics to brands, she does a lot of the more kind of admin but also creative work. So yeah, we've got a really, really good balance, which is amazing. And then of course there's Jake, who shoots beautiful videos for us for our Instagram accounts and takes photos, and also Kat, who lives in London, who we shoot with less frequently now, but also beautiful photos and videos that help us create the content mostly on Instagram. And also is with Kat that we created Perennial Presets, which is a bundle of presets, kind of like filters for your photos that enable you guys, if you would like to edit your photos in the same way that we edit, just with one click of a button. I'll put some examples on the screen here. It's with Kat that we created Perennial Presets, and they're absolutely amazing. So that's another arm of the business too. Okay, we're back for round 3, another battery and memory card later. How do you deal with the negative side of the internet? This is something that I get asked a lot, and there is a huge negative side to the internet, and it's probably, I would say, the major downside to this job. I think you really, and this is so much easier said than done, you really have to separate yourself from it. And I think actually reading The Secret was really good for me, like mentally, because it helped me to understand that having a positive mindset is so good for you. And on the flip side of that, when I look at people that write negative things online, my first thought isn't, oh, you've been really mean to me. My first thought is, my goodness, I feel so sorry for you, because you must be going through something really bad to feel the need to portray that on the internet. Like, you have to be feeling really rotten to not only think horrible things about people, but then to actually physically write them and publish them. You got to be in a dark place and very unhappy with yourself. So I think by changing your mindset about it's really not a me problem, it's a them problem, and that to me, maybe it's, I don't know if that's how I cope, but that is just my mentality around negativity on the internet. And obviously it's things that are written online, yes, they hurt sometimes, but these people I'm never going to meet in real life. These people have no actual impact on my life, and just, it's kind of like, it's like if someone wrote something nasty in a book, you know, it doesn't actually affect you. So just trying to separate yourself as much as possible, I think, is the best thing that you can do. And also just feel sorry for the people that are sharing that negativity. What's the first professional service you decided to invest in for your business when you started to grow? That's an interesting question. It's probably 𝑥𝒆, which is our accounting software, which is quite a, well, yeah, that's probably the first professional service. Obviously a camera, and funnily enough, so I used to be an Olympus pen ambassador. Who remembers back in the like golden days of blogging and YouTube, this was the camera that everyone used, and it's probably thanks to this camera that I film upside down. Whenever I meet other YouTubers, they're always like, why is your camera upside down? Probably because of the Olympus pen, because the lens always flipped down. But why did I even get onto this? Oh, first bit of equipment that I bought. Yeah, this was my first vlogging camera, and I actually want to bring it back. Listen to this click noise. Isn't that so satisfying? And it actually takes a bloomin' great photo, and isn't it cute? Like, that is a cute camera. So I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna put this in my handbag. I've still got the charger, which is a miracle, and it still works perfectly. So that was another bit of kit. But now I would recommend the Canon G7X. I know loads of YouTubers bang on and on about, where even is it? Do I still have it around here somewhere? I don't know. The DJI Osmo, I know so many people rave about that. I personally don't like it. I prefer the Canon G7X. It's been the YouTuber's favorite camera for 10 years. So that is a reason to keep with it. So I'd recommend the Canon G7X. Obviously a good phone, laptop for editing, and zero accounting software. That's all I personally needed to get started. But I know so many YouTubers still that film on their iPhone, so you don't even need a camera. In fact, you can probably edit iPhone videos on your iPhone. So if you got one of these, you can be a content creator. How did you manage to grow, as it seems so difficult, and land brand deals? I think this kind of goes back to what I said previously about having a long-term strategy, not accepting every brand deal that comes your way, because the ones that you turn down probably say more about you than the ones that you say yes to. And I think that's very important. But again, I'll refer you back to my really old video for more growth strategy tips. Is it more difficult now or before? This is the same person that's asked this. I'd say it was more difficult before in that no one had done these things before, so we were very much like paving the way. Like, L'Oreal didn't work with influencers when I started. They didn't have their like multi-million-pound ambassadorship deals. We had to, like, not me personally with L'Oreal, but we had to kind of hold brands' hands through the process. Even now, Charlie and I feel like we're half consultants, half content creators, because some of the brands that we work with, especially the more kind of maybe slightly smaller, lovely local British brands, half the time we provide so much advice, not so that we can get paid by them, but just to help their businesses grow. And especially back when we first started in this industry, there were no influencer marketing agencies or strategies or anything like that, so it was very much like an educational time and all learning and all figuring out together. So I guess it was harder from that respect, whereas now, like, there are brands like Adenola, like Suri toothbrushes, like Hey Estrid razors. Their entire strategy is influence marketing because they know that it works. And like any brand now, they know that influencer marketing really works, so you don't have to really hold their hand as much anymore. So harder back then from that respect, but I think harder now because the market is so saturated. There are so many influencers and content creators out there now, so many YouTube videos that you could watch, so the competition is high, but the audience is very big and there are a lot of opportunities, so I wouldn't let that put you off. How has the influencer marketing business grown since you started in terms of earning potential? I would say that kind of links onto the last question, or my last answer, in that now most brands have an influencer marketing budget, which is great, and brands, I think, have seen such incredible return on investment that they are putting more and more budget into influencer marketing. So back in the day, like let's say for ease, a brand's marketing budget was £1 million. That might have been, keeping it really simple, £500,000 put into TV advertising and £500,000 into magazine advertising. And then over time, this little market appeared in the middle, influencer marketing, and of that £1 million, that ate away from the TV advertising budget and the magazine advertising budget, maybe way into the magazine advertising budget now, which is why a lot of magazines and newspapers really don't like influencers, obviously, because we've taken most of their marketing budget. And the reason that it took so much of this budget is because it was so quick to prove that it worked. Like, I can literally show you right this very second on my phone what you guys have been buying from my links this morning and how much you spent on those retailers. So I can say to Ralph Lauren, if you spend £1,000 working with me, I will drive £20,000 worth of sales. It's black and white. The data is there. Data doesn't lie. Yes, people can buy followers, which is lying in that form of data, but sales data doesn't lie. And I think that that's personally where I would say the earning potentials have got better and better as more and more brands understand that and therefore put more money into influence marketing. So I can see this morning that 19 of you have purchased something from the White Company, sorry, not White Company, Me&M, following my cotton open stitch cardigan. I can see 8 of you have purchased something from one of my Ralph Lauren links, 9 of you have purchased something from my Reiss links, and it's literally there in black and white on an app on my phone, and retailers can see that too. So they can see that their money is growing by working with influencers, whereas let's take a magazine advert, sorry to any magazine businesses that might be watching, but if I put an advert, have I got any magazines here? The only magazine that I've got is not really a magazine, it's beautiful, it's from Time. They don't put adverts in here, but this is so beautiful. Say this was an advert for Olympus pen cameras, and say 20,000 people received this magazine. How do they know how many of those people have made a purchase? It's not trackable, which is why brands are taking their money away from magazines, because they can't justify it. Like an inside cover page in Vogue or something can cost tens of thousands of pounds. Tens of thousands. In fact, you can actually go, you can Google, let's do it now actually, this will be fun. Vogue Media Kit. Oh, weirdly it's bringing me up their 2019 one, so this is pretty out of date, but still very interesting. This is their 2019 media kit. So to have a page facing the matter, aka this one, is £38,000. £38,000 5 years ago to advertise on a page like this facing you in Vogue. So that's in the magazine, and their circulation is 192,000. 192,000 received the magazine that they charge £38,000 for. There are no influencers that have 192,000 Instagram followers that are charging £38,000 for a post. Absolutely not. I mean, the money is so different, as in the influencer is charging way less for way more eyeballs, and it's trackable. I feel like I could be getting myself in bother with magazines right now, and I don't want to make enemies in this industry, so I'm going to move on, but that is why the earning potentials for influencer marketing will keep on growing, because it's trackable, it's far more affordable, and brands know that they get shed load of bang for their buck and return on investment. And at the end of the day, yes, it's very noble and wonderful to say that you are featured in black and white in a magazine, but if you want sales, if you want to grow your business, that's why brands are working so much with content creators. Let me know, by the way, if that is really obvious or if you've just had a light bulb moment because of that little explanation. Okay, I'm just going to do one more because this video is getting long and I feel like I have spilled a lot of tea here. As I said, abundant with information giving. Ooh, last one, okay. What has been your favourite project you've ever done, or top 10 favourites? I won't do top 10 because of time, but when people ask me my favourite, I actually always mention the Topshop Girls collaboration. RIP to Topshop. That was my first ever really big affiliate collaboration. So the affiliate company Reward Style, now known as LTK, they partnered with Topshop in Topshop's glory years, and they said, look, we're going to choose, or we're going to recommend 3 or 4 influencers that already sell a lot of your products. Like, we can see from our analytics, from our links, that Josie and a couple of other girls sell a lot of product for you. And they said to Topshop, why don't you invest an amount of money in these girls and ask them to produce X amount of content, and let's see how much more money we can generate for you. That was phase 1. So I was approached by Topshop for Topshop girls, and they said, okay, over a 3-month period we want you to do like 2 YouTube videos, 3 Instagram posts and 2 sets of stories. We don't even want to see them. We trust you to go out and create the content that you do that's going to lead to sales for us, and we know that you got to do a good job, because we're only going to cast you for round 2 if you do a good job in round 1. I did 10 rounds. I did the whole series of Topshop girls from phase 1 to phase 10 when Topshop unfortunately ceased to exist, and it was such an amazing rolling job, and it was really great because it was just so like beneficial to everybody. I loved it because I got to work with a brand that felt so authentic, because I was already talking about them so much. I loved the fact that they didn't even want to see the content before it went live, because they knew that I was just going to do it to the best of my ability. And they were winning because they were making so many sales. And it was just fantastic working with someone so long term and in such a like natural way. So I would say that's been my favorite. There have been so many more and more recently that I've loved, but I'm gonna stop this for the sake of the length of this video, because it's gonna be a long one. So I think I'm gonna end the vlog here actually, my darlings. I really hope you found especially this last bit interesting and useful. And I wish that you have a wonderful evening. If you did get to the end, I think I've already given you loads of things to leave in your comment, but let's leave Olympus in your comment if you got to the end. I'm very, very grateful if you did. It really means a lot to me. And actually it really does mean a lot, because if YouTube see that people watch all the way to the end, then YouTube knows that you like the video and it pushes the video to more people. So it really does help me if you watch to the end. Really helps me if you give videos a thumbs up. Again, it's just helping the YouTube algorithm. If you subscribe, it helps me a ton. And also leaving a comment. Any form of engagement really helps me. With this, now that we're being all open and honest, it really, really does. It's not just me saying it just for fun. So I appreciate you. I'm very grateful that you watch the videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.